Hey everyone, Andy Raffel from eTechnics.com, and as you know, in 2018, RGB has pretty much been applied to everything. SSDs, memory, chassis. Well, today, as you can see, we've got it on a chair. So let's first start off with the box. Typically, it, just like most gaming chairs, comes in a very large brown box, and it does actually state on it heavy, just in case you do try picking it up all by yourself. I'd probably advise at least 2 people actually pick it up and sort of transport it to where it needs to go. It weighs in around 21 kilograms without the packaging material. With the box and the packaging material, you're looking closer to about 24 kilograms. Now on the side of the box, it does give you a kind of silhouetted view of what the chair is going to look like, and it makes a very distinct point that it is incorporated with RGB lighting. When we continued to then open up the box, we found that everything was nicely packaged inside, with a mixture of cardboard, bubble wrap and plastic. Everything was nicely protected and pretty much what I'd expect from a chair. So once we took everything out of its packaging material, we laid everything out just to sort of see what we were dealing with. So let's go through exactly what comes included. Obviously, the first piece of the puzzle is the chair back and the base. These do come separate and do require some assembly, which we will go through later on in the video. Next up, we have the 5-point star base and gas strut. Now, I am a little bit frustrated about the base itself purely because it's made out of plastic. I personally would have preferred aluminium, especially at this price point, which pricing is definitely something we will go through a little bit later on in the review. The gas strut does have a cover on it and also then connects into what they call the butterfly mechanism. This is where you can adjust the tilt and angle of the chair itself. To go with the 5-point star base, we do have a set of 5 wheels, or casters, however you want to word it. They are made completely out of plastic with just the metal notch that goes into the base. Now, I would have liked to have maybe seen something with some rubber coating on there, or even the option to have a different set of casters, depending on if you have a hard floor or a soft floor. But after using this for a little while, I actually find it works pretty well on both. Because this is a gaming chair, it does obviously have some assembly required. So what Aerocool do is they've neatly packaged everything into one group. So we have an Allen key screwdriver, which is quite handy because some of the bolts on here do require an Allen key, while other screws do require a Phillips head attachment. So they've actually managed to get it into the same tool. Other than that, yes, you do get a set of washers and also the various screws as well. Now this chair does differ slightly to other gaming chairs on the market. As you can see, it does have RGB. So with that, it needs a way of being controlled. So you do get the remote control included, which I'm going to be honest, it doesn't come with the battery, which was a real frustration for me. It's so simple just to include a battery, but yes, there are regulations, especially in the UK, about shipping something with a battery included. Now there is also the RGB control box, and we'll show you exactly how these are all fitted together in our time lapse. To finish off the sides of the chair, no one really wants to see the screws kind of protruding out of the sides of it. So what they do is they include 2 plastic covers that simply clip on and then screw on. Also included is a manual which talks you through step by step on how to assemble the chair itself, especially when it comes to that RGB, because yes, you may have put some chairs together in the past, but I can guarantee you've probably never actually fitted one with RGB. And even when I first looked at it, I had to refer to the manual, which I know it's not the bloke thing to do, but well, it had to be done. Also included is a little card just telling you about the warranty. Last but not least are the cushions. So as you can see, there is one for your head, which I will admit is a little bit of a weird shape and something I haven't really seen before, but I'll be honest, it's quite comfortable. Also included is the lumbar support cushion, which can obviously go up and down on the chair. Now, building the chair obviously took a little bit more time than usual, purely because it has RGB. Now, there was a few things that frustrated me. A lot of the screws are actually quite precise. Now, if you actually want to watch this with a little bit more detail and some commentary, we do have another video which we will link to, so it might be worth checking that out if you do get a little bit stuck. Taking a look at the dimensions of the chair, it has a back height of around 83 centimeters. The seat is around 50 centimeters deep, and including the bolsters is around 54 centimeters wide. I'm going to be honest, after looking at some other chairs like the GT Omega, this is actually a little bit smaller, but I'm sitting in it and I don't really feel uncomfortable. It actually does feel very, very nice, and I feel like I've still got quite a lot of usable space, especially when it comes to the ass region. In terms of the weight limit of the chair, you're going to be pleased to find that it can accept weights of up to around 150 kilograms. So comparing it against other chairs, this is actually a lot better. Some of the other chairs that we've seen at this price point have only been up to 120 kilograms. So if you are happy to sit there and eat away, then you're going to be covered. And if you even want to get a little bit freaky, you're covered as well. In terms of the materials used, Aerocool actually brand it as Air Technology, which actually sounds pretty cool. This incorporates having a pinhole design on the material and letting the foam and the actual fabric itself breathe. And that's going to be especially handy if you're having them prolonged gaming sessions. The general design of the chair is actually pretty simplistic. It's all basically black. The only differences you will find is on the back and down the bolsters. It does have what they call a carbon fiber blend. It is really just for aesthetics, but it does actually look really, really nice. The reason that they've actually done this is they wanted to keep things ever so simple so the star of the show really can shine. And that, well, as you can see, is the RGB. So I don't want to bore all you guys with all these specs and that. You can see all that on the Aerocool website. I guess what everyone wants to know is, well, is it comfortable? I'm going to be honest, it actually is. It kind of supports you in all of the right places. And I'm not normally a fan of having a lumbar cushion, but my legs are comfortable, my backside is comfortable, my back, my neck. And speaking about your neck, you know I said this cushion looked, well, a little bit weird. It does. It's for a very good reason. It actually comes off and does allow you to put it around. Imagine it a bit like when you go on an aeroplane and you see them people with a cushion around their neck. This does exactly that. And, well, yeah, if you want to have a nap, it's extremely comfortable. So in terms of the armrests, they are branded as 2D functionality. So we've seen it before on other chairs where it has 3D and 4D. 2D basically means that they go up and down, and they also pivot left and right. Pivot.
Pivot! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
In terms of trying to get a little bit more comfortable, the butterfly mechanism allows you to kind of rock back a little bit, up to 18 degrees, which I feel is actually more than enough. You can also control the tension underneath, just to sort of get something that's either a little bit more fluid or a little bit more stiff. In terms of the back reclining position, that goes from 90 degrees to 180, which I'm sure you agree is more than enough for those who've had them prolonged gaming sessions and, well, just wants to have a little nap. The only other degree of comfort that you really get with this chair is being able to go up and down. So the Class 4 piston allows 8 centimeters of travel, which might not seem like a lot, but I've got it at its highest point and I'm quite a tall person, and like I said, I'm pretty comfortable. I could live with this quite happily. I've been sitting in this for quite some time now, just sort of testing it out. I don't like to just jump into a chair review because it doesn't really give you a true insight as to how comfortable it is for those prolonged sessions. But I'm sitting here now, I can move about pretty comfortably, pretty freely, but you've got to admit, this isn't really all about the comfort, it's all about the style. So let's talk about the RGB. So in terms of the RGB, the first thing that I want to talk about is how easy it was to connect up. There's 4 optic cables which run around the chair, and these simply connect into the RGB control box, which comes included. It's just a matter of unscrewing the caps, putting the optic cables in, and screwing it back down. Luckily under the chair there's plenty of sort of cable raceways and pouches for all the cables to be hidden in. So even when I'm moving about, I'm not finding myself catching any of the optic cables, which is a really nice thing. The sad thing about it is it doesn't come with a power bank included, which is how you have to connect it all up. Battery wise, you will find that a normal average sort of 5 to 10,000 milliamp battery will last, well, quite a long time. Mine's still going and I'm still testing it now. So yes, it doesn't come included, but I do get why it doesn't. Shipping stuff from Taiwan, such as batteries and power banks, just isn't a viable option in this day and age. But I'm sure you agree, at this price point, it doesn't really matter too much, because a power bank can be picked up on Amazon or eBay for about £5 or around $5 in the US. The one thing that does come included to control the RGB is the remote control. Sadly again, this doesn't include a battery. It's just a frustration and annoyance, but you can actually pick up these batteries for about £1. Pop to any sort of local electronics store, or even in the UK we've got bargain places like B&M or Poundland. You can easily pick them up in there. To control the lighting, you get various different buttons. This includes various colours, different patterns, you can have it flash like I have now, you can have strobe, and it's all very simple to control. You just simply point it at the IR receiver, which you would have nicely tucked away underneath the chair, and away you go. And yes, you can turn it off. So before I finish this video up, I want to talk about pricing. Now, US pricing is a little bit weird with AeroCool, but I want to talk about the UK pricing. So pricing of gaming chairs, it really does range. You can pick them up for £100, you can pick them up for £700. This luckily falls on the lower end of the scale in terms of price, which I'm really happy about. But only just recently. So this was actually priced at around £280 in the UK, which I'll be honest, I do feel is a little bit expensive for what it is. Yes, it does have RGB and it does have some cool features, but it only has two directional arms. It only has limited sort of lumbar support and things like that. There's just certain things that I'd maybe attribute to a slightly better chair for less, if that makes sense. So luckily though, they have actually priced this a bit more competitively. So all of the retailers in the UK at the moment are currently selling this for around £230 to £240, which I feel is a lot better value for money. Especially when you do think that you get all of the RGB. I think maybe if it didn't have RGB, it would probably be priced at around £189, which is a little bit closer to what GT Omega and some of the other brands out there have to offer. I don't want you to take this as a criticism, but I do feel like AeroCool have done a very good job with this, but it's just a little rough around the edges in certain areas. But I do see the point of it. RGB is obviously the thing at the moment, and this does have it, well, in abundance. It's absolutely everywhere. But I feel that maybe they could ship it with a battery, maybe they could ship it with a power bank and keep the price at that lower price point. If they could do that, then I think this would be onto a real winner. But there you go. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, you know exactly what to do, and I will see you in the next one. See you later. Bye-bye.